What is up, guys? It is Uncle Bob, and welcome to the channel. Welcome back. We are here to just kind of talk about Castlevania 2, because, after playing it for the first time, the question is obviously burning of, is this game worth playing? And I obviously definitely think it is. I think this is a fine game, and I think it's kind of annoying to take a look at you know gaming media, especially on YouTube, and a lot of the figures, and to see the negativity that this game garners. Now, if you're somebody who has very little to like no experience with old games and retro games, then this game is definitely not for you. um I wouldn't recommend somebody go back and play this game, just to play through the Castlevania series. You know, at least not without a guide. To do it guideless, I think, doesn't really require so much. Like, I would say this game is like an early blueprint for Metroidvanias, but I wouldn't even say other Metroidvanias playing them would really help you out. Um, if you can play through the original Zelda with just the map that's given to you in the official guide instruction manual, and you can beat the original Metroid, I think you should be able to play this game pretty much just fine. I don't see I don't see this game as being really that big of a difference. I don't see there being that big of a difference in between um, a transition from games like the original Legend of Zelda and the original Metroid to this. The original Metroid is a much harder world to navigate than this one is. And with this game, honestly, I mean, if you try to go left out of this village, you're basically immediately shown you can't go this way, go right. And once you go right, there's two mansions. And if you're talking around, you'll hear somebody say something about um, you'll hear somebody say something about the ferryman. I think they said liking garlic, which, as I found out by throwing a piece of garlic, didn't do shit. But the thing that you need with the ferryman is, from one of the two first mansions that you go to. So locating the third really isn't that hard. I knew when I was trying to look around and after I walked through the world again, I had a feeling it was going to be something to do with the ferryman. Especially because, again, one of the reasons why I think for a game like this you need old school retro experience is when you would see something translated in English to like be like, like, you knew that, like, okay, something's off with this. Whatever he's doing, there's something else. And I check out all of the different paths that I can run around, and there's no other mansion. I can't find number 3. So, process of elimination said that that's probably where it was. The only thing that could be a little bit hard is the crystals and knowing what to do with those. And, when you're... The good thing is that with games like this, there's such a small limit of items that you can use that it shouldn't really be that difficult to kind of figure out what you got to use. Let me look real quick. Okay, so as we just look, let's see. What was a good one? Oh no, okay. Now, I didn't know the mansion names, but Clear a path at Berkeley Mansion with a white crystal. That's pretty nice. I had the crystal equipped just because I don't think I knew what to do with it, and I didn't even notice until I was leaving that was actually a um what was I gonna say? I didn't even know that the white crystal uncovered anything, so that was an interesting one. Uh, a flame flickers inside the ring of fire. Okay, I don't know if I saw this one. I feel like I remember. This one would have been a nice one. And old gypsy holds a diamond in front of Devora Cliff. Wait for a soul with a red crystal. I think that's the one that I saw. Dracula's Nail, I saw that one. Okay, so I do remember seeing this to replenish Earth, kneel by the lake with a blue crystal. I feel like I saw that one. Um, if you talk to everyone, can I click this and see? Can I see? Okay, all right, it's not going to quite help me the way that I wanted it to. But regardless, the point is that the only one tip that I was given um, from someone I talked to about playing this game, the main tip I was told was throw holy water at everything. And I feel like as long as you're given that tip, you should be fine. Now, again, you have to play old games because, there's certain places that if you're not used to looking, like, there's certain areas where you can just kind of tell, like, there's got to be a book or something hidden here. Like, it looks like a book should be hidden here. And sometimes, and not all the time, but a good amount of times there are. And, excuse me, flip back. But as long as you're sitting there throwing water at everything, I was told, especially in villages, throw water everywhere. And that was a lifesaver. If I didn't know to do that, then I actually might have been a little bit more fucked. But as long as you know to just throw holy water relentlessly, and you have experience with old school video games, you should be fine. You should be able to navigate your way through this world. It's a pretty small world, all things considering. Just make sure you're talking to everyone and buying everything. Buy every whip as you come across it. Don't skip one. Make sure you're exploring every branching path. If there's something you need to buy and you don't have the hearts for it, none of the grinding for hearts I found ever to be a problem. I've heard some people negatively talk about grinding in this game and how it grinds things to a halt. Bro, it does not. You can get 200 hearts lickety split by the time you need to start getting that many hearts. Especially if you just go in a mansion and just wander yourself, like, just back like 2 squares to where the enemy will just respawn. You'll be fine. So, if somebody is just interested in replaying the old Castlevania games, is this game worth playing? Maybe, maybe not. Probably with a guide. If you want to play this game without a guide, you need old video game experience before coming into this game. A kid back in the day would have probably been fine with this game, but just the way video games and the worlds are presented to you are just so far different now. You know, it's like when I talked about, well, actually, I haven't talked about it. I actually wanted to, and I just kept pushing the video farther and farther away because it's not like it's going to be a real retrospective or anything. Not like the high quality ones that you see on YouTube, but you know, it's like the original Mother. You know, do I think the original Mother is worth playing? Absolutely. Do I think that somebody should just up and play it? Probably not. But again, you know, for that one, if you can beat the original Final Fantasy on the NES in its NES format, which, you know, let's face it, if you're going back and playing Mother 1, there's something about you that's attracted to things that are older and more retro. Play the original Final Fantasy. It's not that hard of a game, honestly. A little bit of bullshit, but overall, not super hard. If you can beat the original Final Fantasy and the original Dragon Quest, or obviously, you know, as the early games were called in America, Dragon Warrior. If you can beat the original Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest, and the original Final Fantasy, you should have no problems playing Mother. Like, at all. There should be zero issue playing that game. So, yeah, I just think that this game kind of gets a bad rap. It's either a... No, we'll just leave it. I think it gets a bad rap. I think that people who are going back to just play certain games are going to be thrown off by what they find in here. But there's enough of hints and tips from the NPCs, and you know, if you look at the instruction booklet, it says that, you know, not every is an excuse for the bad translation. Not some of the NPCs lie, but I found that usually it's not necessarily a lie. It's that it's a mistranslation. Usually, if a, you know, like they said, you know, garlic or something with the ferryman, like the ferryman likes garlic. Okay, he doesn't like garlic, but there's something with the ferryman. There's something he wants. There's something he's very clearly trying to give you. So, yeah, I just think that if you have the correct amount of experience and you go into this game, you should find a pretty rewarding experience. If you're just coming here just to, you know, play through, you know, because let's face it, if you're trying to play through old video games and you go to play the original Castlevania and then play this game, you're not going to be thrown off too hard. Because, you're going to, sorry, let me say that again. If you're just going and playing through the old Castlevania games, playing the first one is not going to throw you off too much, because it is hard and it can be brutal, but it's a simple enough game and a simple enough concept of how you're playing that it's really, even if you're not a retro gamer, the only thing that's going to strike you is going to be some of the difficulty and a bit of the controls. But other than that, it's an easier game to figure out. This game takes more like actual retro game experience to play. And if you have it and have that experience, I think you're going to find a game that's definitely still fun to play. A lot of fun to play. And in a couple days, I actually can't wait to start playing this game again. I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy 3 right after this. But after that, like, yeah, I think kind of like the Metroid games, rerunning through this game and trying to do it faster, I think it should be fine. Because it's basically buy all stuff in all villages, do the first 2 mansions, run back this way, talk to the ferryman with the heart, and then come back, and then go the regular way, and buy everything as I go, do the other 2 mansions, and take myself over to Dracula. I could actually have this game done in, like, not very long at all. Depending on how long, I may actually try to do this in one sitting, like take a couple hours on like a Saturday night or something and just try to run through it. I don't know. But yeah, this game was a lot of fun. And would I recommend playing it? Maybe. Play other games first, then come back for this one. But yeah, until next time, y'all. Peace.